Hi, this is Katie. In today's video, I'm gonna do a fun little Q&A. You know that I like to do these every month or every other month or so. And I asked you to ask me questions over on Instagram. So if you ever wanna be part of one of these Q&As and ask me a question, make sure that you're following me on Instagram because I'll just ask you on there like, hey, ask me whatever you want. And I think when I posted this, I said like, make them unique and silly or personal or serious, kind of like whatever, but more like unique questions that I haven't answered before. And some of these maybe I've answered, but maybe not in a long time. So anyway, if you're excited for a little Q&A, I really hope that you're subscribed and I hope that you keep watching. Okay, so the first question is from Karen, and she asked, is buying a home a goal for the future or are you just not really interested? So basically, I am not really interested in buying a home as like an immediate goal. That is not something that I think about. It's not something that I hope for. That's just, I don't know. It's just not like an immediate goal for me. If I was going to live by myself anytime soon, I am much more likely to rent an apartment. That's just me. But I do understand that if I get married one day, obviously I'd be much more likely to stay in one spot if whoever I marry is going to stay in one spot. And if he and I decide to buy a home, then that's a totally different story, you know? But yeah, just for me personally, like buying a home has never really been a top priority of mine. And so the only time I really see that potentially changing is if I get married. Okay, so KJ asked, would you like to travel overseas? I am pretty sure I had a dream last night that I was, where was I? I think in like China or something. I think it was somewhere in Asia, maybe. Oh man, I forget. You know how dreams, like you remember them right when you wake up and then slowly throughout the day you kind of forget it? I kind of forget. I think I was in China and I think I ran into one of my friends, like just randomly ran into him. And I'm pretty sure that in that dream, someone asked me about traveling and I even said in the dream, like, oh no, like I generally just like to travel in the United States. Like that's just my preference. I like to road trip and stuff. So I'm pretty sure I had this conversation in a dream last night. Anyway, similar to the first question, traveling overseas is not a priority of mine. I think that it sounds awesome and I would love to experience more cultures, 100%, but at least right this second in my life with my budget and with my job and with my health and with just my priorities that I have going on right now, I don't really think about traveling overseas. Like I don't have any trips planned. I don't even have like a list of where I'd want to go or when, but I'm sure it'll happen at some point. But I doubt it'll be anytime soon. But it does sound awesome. Like, of course, there's so many different cultures, landscapes, food, if I could eat it, you know? So I definitely understand why people do it. But you guys know I've always been like a states traveler, a road trip girl, but I'm sure I'll travel overseas at some point one day. But yeah, just not like an immediate goal. Okay, so let's see. Miss October asked, career-wise, if you could do anything, what would you do? YouTube. That's why I'm doing it, because I love it. But if YouTube did not exist, what else would I want to be doing? That's not what she asked, but I'm gonna give a part B to this question. I would probably be doing something in either like the marketing space, or I'd be a writer, or I'd work for entrepreneurs or be an entrepreneur myself, or any type of content. Like I might still want to be in video, you know, or editing or something like that. I do like working in a creative field, and even if I'm not like the person on the screen or whatever, I still think that I would really enjoy doing some like back end stuff, like some editing or some copywriting or things like that. So yeah, probably something similar if YouTube did not exist. But YouTube is still like my dream job. I love this, which is so hilarious because YouTube did not exist until I was halfway through college. And in college, I was thinking I'd go get my master's in sociology and I would be a researcher because YouTube didn't exist yet. But even if it did, I don't even know if I would have wanted to do it. I don't know. But I know like a lot of kids now grow up and think that maybe they could work online and do all this kind of stuff, but it just really didn't exist when I was growing up. So I'm glad it does now. Okay, so Lindsay asked, is there anywhere you won't travel to in the US? That's a really good question. I don't think I've really ever been asked that before. Anywhere I won't travel to? No. I mean, I guess I could argue that maybe I wouldn't purposefully go to like some more dangerous parts of certain cities by myself, maybe. But besides that, I don't really think that there's anywhere that I wouldn't go to. I'm trying to think. Maybe anywhere that I would have to hike like too steep of a mountain. I don't know if I would want to do that. Oh, you know what I wouldn't want to do? And this is not what you asked. But you know when some people will camp on the side of a mountain? Have you ever seen that? I will not do that. That I will not do. So does that count as somewhere that I won't go? I will not go there. Some people like will climb up like a mountain like this, and then they'll just like pitch a tent there and sleep there, like, and like hang it off of the mountain. No, thank you. I will not do that. No. But besides that, I don't really think that there's like a state or a town that I would be like, oh, no. Because even some of the towns that I don't really like, I would still visit again. You guys know, I am so okay, like either being wrong, if I'm wrong, like I'm not gonna admit I'm wrong if I'm not, but if I am wrong, or if my opinion can be changed about disliking a town or whatever, I'm open to that, right? Like I don't really like Houston, for example. I just went there a couple times, didn't really like it. But if I knew someone who was there and was like, hey, no, Houston's great, let me show you some really good parts, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. Like I would go back, and I'm totally okay if I end up changing my mind. So even though there's a couple cities that I don't love and I don't really plan on going back to, they're not like I would never go, you know, especially if I had like a reason to, or if I made a video. Actually, it would be kind of funny, not funny, it would actually be kind of cool to make a couple of videos of like going back to the cities that I dislike to see if I can like them more. That might be something that I would do. That actually sounds kind of interesting. Maybe I'll do that. Anyway, but no, not really. There's not really a place I wouldn't go to. Someone asked, will you make it down to South Florida? Probably. There's some national parks down there that I want to go to. Marion asked, did you ever explain why you moved to Nashville when you moved out of New York for the first time? I think I have explained this, but I'll explain it again in the shortest version possible. God told me to. I was in New York and I was not having a good time. And so I ended up moving to my dad's house, who lived in Connecticut at the time. And I was with him for a couple months, and I prayed. And this was, by the way, before I was even saved. Mind you, I got saved when I was 28, and all of this happened when I was 23, 24, like that summer. And I moved in with my dad for a little while because I was just not having a good time. And there was one night that I prayed, like one of those prayers that I physically felt a weight lifted off my shoulders. And I think that that's the only time that that's ever really happened, or at least the first time. And I woke up the next day and God told me so specifically, move to, and then whatever he said at first, he said some city or some state at first, but then it immediately switched to Nashville. And here's the thing, I don't remember what the first one was. But it immediately switched to Nashville. My camera overheated and shut off right in the middle of that story. So I think I was at the point where I said I woke up and God told me to move somewhere, but then it immediately switched to move to Nashville. And so I went out into the kitchen or the living room, wherever my dad was, and I said, I'm gonna move to Nashville. And he was like, oh, do you know anyone there? And I said, no. And he's like, have you ever been there before? And I'm like, no. And he's like, okay. Because my dad, out of my whole family, my dad and like one of my brothers are like the traveler, adventure-y kind of like more spontaneous kind of people. And so my dad like wanted to know why I came up with that, but I was like, God told me to. I think my mom was a little bit more hesitant, but I ended up going down there for the first time that weekend to go scope it out. Went back a few weeks later to secure an apartment, and then I moved, you know, within 2-3 months or something like that. So yeah, I moved because God told me to. And I love Nashville. I lived there for 2 years, and then I got on the road and started either going on long road trips, living in my car, or moving to other different spots in the country. But I have moved back to Nashville a couple times. I've probably spent, what, almost 4 years there total? A long time. I love it there. But yeah, so I moved because God told me to, which I would say is the best reason to do anything, really. Because sometimes what he tells us to do is not going to seem really logical, but if we know in our gut that God is telling us to do it, then he's going to help us through it, and there is going to be a bigger reason than just maybe logic or just because we want to. Like, there's going to be a bigger reason for it because he wants us to do it. So yeah, love Nashville. Someone said, do you want to be friends? Yes. I really want to figure out a way to make some like girlfriends. I mean, wherever, because I can obviously talk to people wherever they are, but it would be really cool to meet some girls in like Central Florida that I can hang out with over the next few months. So if you live in Central Florida and you want to hang out and we can like go to, well, I don't drink coffee. I can sit with you while you drink coffee, or we can play tennis, but only if it's at like 7 a.m. because it's too hot, or go to the beach or whatever, let me know. Because I would, yeah, I need some friends. So yes. All right, just a couple more because my camera is going to overheat again because it's hot out. Oh, by the way, I know I'm in a different car again, but I'm gonna tell you why in like a week, okay? Anyway, so Rain asked, would you go on a date with anyone who subscribes to your YouTube channel? I have before, actually. More than once, I think. Yeah, I think 2 people that I've actually like dated were subscribers first. So yeah, it's possible. Oh, this person, and you know me so well even just for asking this, what's one thing you could eat right now if you could? A bagel and cream cheese from a bagel place near my mom's house that I grew up eating it all the time. Oh, it's my favorite. Just like even a plain bagel and plain cream cheese was still just so good. Like the saltiness, and I miss it. I miss it so much. Janie asked, are you planning on coloring your hair? Yes, I am. Not like too drastically different, but I just do want to cover the grays. And my hair is like a bunch of different colors right now. I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but it's like gray and like a super cool toned brown here. And then it just is a different color on the bottom. And it's not a big deal, right? Some people, doesn't matter. But for me, I would prefer to have my hair dyed, but I still don't know if I want to do it myself or go to a salon. Not that I can afford a salon, but I would save up for it. Mia, I think that might be your name, asked, since you travel, have you ever considered driving through Google Maps with a camera on your car? No, I have not considered that. I might look into that. All right, so next travel destination. Jar of Flies asked that. Well, Jar of Flies. Right now, I am traveling. That's why I'm in a different car. But you'll find out more next week where I am and whose car I'm in and all that kind of stuff. So technically right this second I am traveling. But I'll be back home in Florida in a couple days. And after that, I'll probably go on a few day trips in Florida over the next month or so. And then I am going to be going to South Carolina probably mid-August. So yeah, okay. Ooh, Alpha Cat asked, favorite video game? Mario Kart. And I say Mario, I know, come fight me, it's fine, I know. I think it's like a Long Island and Northern Jersey thing, and not everyone says it, but it's decently common, like New York, New Jersey, that some people say Mario instead of Mario. A Vibe Kitchen said, please do a meetup in New York City. So that's not gonna happen anytime soon, but there's a possibility that I might be able to do that later this year. But for now, I want to do a meetup in Ocala. I mentioned that in one of my last videos. So if you are in Central Florida or just want to drive to Ocala, I hope that you will either leave me a comment here, follow me on Instagram, message me, or email me so we can get like a little group together and go hang out in Ocala. But so maybe New York, maybe. And if I did, the earliest it would be is like October or November. Maybe. The same person asked, are you going to explore Miami? Probably not. Maybe, but probably not. And then also, is dating better in Florida? No. I have met a few more people who like align with the same values and morals that I have, but still dating was trash. I actually deleted my dating apps a couple days ago. And so if I do date anyone, it's going to be someone that I meet more organically because I can't deal with the dating apps anymore. I can't do it. But I explained that in one of my last videos that I deleted them. My camera overheated again, so I'm just gonna go. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. And again, if you ever want to be part of a future Q&A, go follow me on Instagram because that's where I get the questions from. And also, if you want, feel free to answer any of these questions yourself in the comments because I would like to know these things about you as well. So yeah, I guess that's going to be it. Thank you again for watching. I hope that you're subscribed for 3 videos a week, a lot of travel stuff and personal stuff, and a lot of videos that are going to be in Florida over the next few months. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. I love you, Jesus loves you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.